So our first resource is ArticleADay. So some of you may already be familiar with ArticleADay. So let me give a brief overview of it. It is a 10-minute daily routine built on the research-based best practices for building background knowledge and vocabulary, which is our first goal at ReadWorks. So the title may give this away, but students read an article a day. So that's the idea. We've created article sets of 6 to 8 articles, so there's plenty for them to choose from. They choose an article, they read it that day, they complete a book of knowledge, so there's a writing artifact of bringing together reading and writing. There's a writing artifact for you to see as a teacher. And then the next day they read another article. The research behind this is that when you read in topically related sets, so if there's a set on birds or a set on geology, each day you read a new article, you build knowledge exponentially faster because you have that scaffold of all of this new knowledge that can hang on it. If I've read about birds on day 1, those words stick with me and I build and build and build all week long. We have evidence for that. We do have a pilot study from New York where students showed a 15% year-over-year gain doing ArticleADay. And in doing this 10 minutes a day, third graders read almost 50,000 more words in a year. And so that's the research behind why this is so effective as a practice. Okay, so let's try it now. Remember, I'm going to show you this from a student perspective, and then I will show you how to log on and set up an account as a teacher a little later. So what I want to show you first is that this is where everybody goes to log in. So the first thing I want to show you is what it looks like for your student to log in from our website. They'll click, obviously, student login, and then you'll see they need to enter a class code. You will provide them this class code. When you set up your digital class, you will provide this. Now, if you're using a Google Classroom, they'll get their assignments right there. So this is just if they're logging directly into the site. So my class code is QW7BNC. ReadWorks gives you this, and I'll show you where you find it when we're on the teacher side. Then they click continue, and then their names will appear. And so I will click Joanne. We're going to go in today as Joanne. And everybody's password, unless you change it, is 1234. And we click continue. And so now, whenever your students, whether it's from Google Classroom or from logging in, land in their ReadWorks space, it looks like this. They will land right on their assignments to-do list. They'll be able to see submitted ones. They'll be able to see their big book of knowledge, but they land right with what they need to do. Okay, so we're going to go into ArticleADay. So I'm Joanne. My teacher has assigned me the ArticleADay set birds. So I click in, and this is what I see. The first thing is that I see the purpose of ArticleADay. Now, if you were with your students doing this virtually, you could have them read aloud that purpose to remind themselves that words are where humans store knowledge. So they'll build their knowledge by reading these articles, increase their vocabulary, improve their reading stamina, and enjoy reading. But it's there for them to do independently as well. Then it says, please choose one article to read. Now you'll see that while it's Monday, we'll pretend like it's Wednesday, that Joanne has already read Big Bird, Big Eggs, and Joanne has read What is Bird submitted. She could click those again and look at them, but the goal today is to pick a new article. She could pick any of these. These are differentiation articles, by the way. The apples are a little bit, they're called a boost article, a little bit lower level, and the lightning bolts are the challenge article, a little bit higher level. So they could pick these. Or I'm going to go into Chicks Grow Up because it's about the same word length as what I've been reading. The students then arrive in their article. There is audio for all of them if you turn it on. So if you have pre-fluent readers, at any of the earlier levels or later levels, English language learners, they can play the audio and hear it read to them. They see the picture and then they read. And here's the article. So Joanne's a first grade student. This is a first grade ArticleADay set. So she's going to read about chicks. So a chicken is a bird, a chick is a baby chicken. She reads this article and then she goes right to her book of knowledge. And it tells her right here, please write 2 or 3 things you have learned from the article. Now, this is a crucial step. Everybody pay attention. This, the teacher doesn't have on their view, but the students have. They can do split screen right here, right here. If they do split screen, they see the article, and they see their book of knowledge. They don't have to remember everything they read. So Joanne can go back through and say, I learned that chicks are not born with adult feathers. Okay, they submit this, and then they're done. That's article a day. That's the 10 minutes. You on the teacher side, which I will show you later, will see that Joanne has read this article and what she has written. And so now the next day when Joanne goes back into article a day, there'll be 3 articles submitted, and she goes through reading 1 a week. If you notice, there's a lot. You could run this for more than a week and have them read all of them if you wanted, or they're choosing and they're not necessarily having to read all of them. She can also see her own book of knowledge about birds. So she can also see her book of knowledge there. Okay, so that is article a day. I'm going to now hop back to the slides and show you our next, we'll hop to our next review here. Okay, so these 4 steps equal article a day. And so I just want to run them through again with you, because if you're having your students do these independently, you just need to know what you're doing, or you can have them do it together if you're meeting synchronously in a virtual class. So you set the purpose for reading, which is right there on that first page. Students read or listen to an article. So there are supports for pre-fluent readers or readers who need that extra support. They complete their book of knowledge, and then they share their knowledge in 1 to 2 minutes. This is the piece that you can do if you want some community building and some collaboration. You can all be on a virtual call and talk about it like we could do here. You could have them email ideas to each other, put the ideas on a Google Doc, or you have what's called a class book of knowledge, which I'll show you when I get to the teacher side. But that's article a day.